Hello, I'm Jim Morningstar, Director of Transformations, and your guide through this 8-session advanced practicum and apprenticeship in community building. The focus of this first class is preparation for building a more successful integrative personal and work life while reinforcing a spiritual community around us and gaining support from a network of like-spirited communities. Who is your community? We're going to be working on several levels at once in this community building project. The first distinction we will make is between our internal and external communities. The internal community we will be building or reinforcing is the psychological, emotional, and energetic parts of ourselves that work in unison daily to support our functioning. To be sure, these are artificial designations in that we're all of one fabric, but it can be helpful to make distinctions between what our taste buds want and what our stomach can digest if we're choosing our diet. In terms of our physical energy centers, the ancient traditions have observed and described centers of human energy bodies called chakras that have been giving value to people over the millennia, wishing to balance their life and bring themselves in alignment with their spiritual purpose. These centers address our human needs and abilities to achieve high functioning and balance. From bottom to top, these chakras cover 1. Basic security, 2. Pleasure in relationships, 3. Power and identity, 4. Love, 5. Truth, 6. Vision, 7. Spirituality, and 8. Wholeness. It's beyond the scope of this course to present a full description of these 8 major energy centers that I've described and worked with in a number of past School of Integrative Psychology courses. Links to these courses are available on our class reference list. The second internal community that I consider of great importance to such an undertaking as we are doing this year is the community of spiritual guidance that's behind and supportive of a work so dedicated. To not be aware of this resource and to use it fully is to handicap our efforts and to ignore a treasure chest of support that's been given to us. Over the 40 years of directing the School of Integrative Psychology, I've developed an elegant way of bringing the elements of the inner community, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, together in one form, which I call the Circle of Guides. In short, this is a way to organize our physical energy centers, which are connected to our emotional and mental bodies, with guides dedicated to help us specifically in those centers, and work in concert with the guides in each of the other centers. I, of course, am in charge of my overall functioning, but it's wise to get advice and support from those whose expertise has been demonstrated in each area. Just as I seek the advice of a computer geek or a car mechanic when needing support in those areas of my life, I intuitively make a list of guides to help me with each of my energy centers. These guides may be mentors I've had, relatives or ancestors who have passed, animal totems, archetypes, angels, or spiritual figures that resonate with my spirit. Over the years, I've selected a male and a female guide to be installed in each of my centers. I have their names written next to the number of each of my energy centers on my Circle of Guides chart. These guides have changed over the years as my inner sense has directed. Now, guides are not my source and are only as useful as they are effective in keeping me connected to my source daily. So each day I check in with my own functioning and ask the guidance from guides, both generically and specifically in areas of need. I even have a different team of guides that changes each day. Again, it's beyond the scope of this course to go into detail creating your circle of guides, but references for courses and free YouTube videos I've made on the subject are on our course reference list. I will leave it up to each of you to go into as deeply as you choose this internal community building and harmonizing. Suffice it to say, it's been a mainstay of my life work and success to this point, so I highly recommend this or some similar system that puts you more in the driver's seat you've been given in using life's resources rather than sitting in the back seat wondering who's driving and where they're taking you. Now, here's a hint. The unknown driver is usually an unconscious part of yourself searching for survival without a roadmap. External communities. External communities in which you currently participate and new ones you wish to create this year will be our focus here. Life communities is what we will call groups of which you are naturally a part, such as family, social, and work settings. We all will pick at least one from each of these groups to work with this year to highlight. You will connect with the spirit that unites you with the groups you choose and dedicate your participation to consciously evolve for your benefit and the good of all in the group. Teaching communities we will call any group which you choose to take a formal teaching role in this year, be it a group that already exists or one that you call together during this time or in the future. Life communities. The statement of purpose you wrote applies to all communities in which you already participate. What makes this a, quotes, advanced practicum is simply we are consciously choosing to advance our purpose in each community. That is, to bring consciousness to each group in which we participate. Know why we are there, the growth potential and challenges of each, and bring loving accountability to our participation, such that by the end of 8 months, we can see and feel each as a spiritual community of which we are grateful to be part and in which we give and receive demonstrative value. Lofty ambitions? You bet. And the anticipated rewards being that as we make progress in each one, so will the energy spread into more and more of our life groups, with less and less efforting or struggle. Our presence will be enhanced to do this, and our ego will be relegated to a functional role commensurate with its merit. The ripple effects of a group of us doing this together are mathematically astounding. Then, to add to this, those we inspire along the way, why, the results could be astronomical. This is not pie in the sky. It's enjoying the pie we've baked together on earth. As you will experience, the route to this end will serve up for each of us the unique personal qualities we brought here to share and the wounds we are now ready to heal. Family group. You will now define the family group on which you choose to focus during this time. Now, this could be a small part of your nuclear family to a broad assemblage of your extended family. Again, the benefit derived from your work with one part will extend to the other parts, but it will be helpful to have a focus on the part you select during this period. So take handout 2, Advanced Practicum Life Communities, and in section 1A, write, the family group on which I choose to focus in this course is. Now, keep it specific and even write some or all of the names involved. Then, in section 1B, Write 3 goals I have for my support of this group's evolution are. Again, make these goals as specific and measurable as possible. For example, that I make a personal and meaningful contact with each member before the holidays, versus a generic goal like, oh, we're all happy. Social group. This group will give you the opportunity to choose from a wide selection, from friends to a civic designation, such as your area of the city, to an organization to which you belong. For example, a local chapter of the Sierra Club. Take handout 2, and in section 2A, write the social group on which I choose to focus in this course is. Again, keep it specific and even write some or all of the names involved. Then, in section 2B, write 3 goals I have for my support of this group's evolution are. Again, make the goals as specific and measurable as possible. For example, support of environmental initiatives versus we just have friendly relationships. Work group. This relates to those with whom you engage in work-related activities. Now, you may have no formal employment at this time, but choose an association in which you collaborate for a goal. For example, a committee putting together a class reunion or a block party. It could even be a virtual association whose membership you do not know by name, a Facebook group supporting breathwork. The point is to choose another group that involves your participation, which includes an outside goal. Take handout 2, and in section 3A, write the work group on which I choose to focus in this course is. Keep it specific, and even write some or all of the names involved. In section 3B, write 3 goals I have for my support of this group's evolution are. And also make the goals as specific and measurable as possible. For example, that I collaborate with my supervisor in a more open-hearted way versus I don't get fired. So let us proceed till next class, not with the illusion of life in community being destined to repeat the limiting patterns of the past, but rather with the courage to surrender to our soul's longing to be in loving community here and now, both in this group and elsewhere. To keep that vision is to be a community builder. As fellow travelers on the road home, I send and receive blessings for our circle and all sentient beings till next class. Blessings in light and love.